Hello and welcome to episode 28 of Forever Stranded. Guys, the last time we were together, we made so much progress on getting quests done. We are now pretty much finished, other than the collector quests, which I am having some issues with, and we'll talk about that later. We only have one more quest to do, and that's to get a lightwood sapling. I think that that's going to be our very last quest. I'm not sure what else it would have us do, but I guess we will find out. Now, I'm over here at the hull/wreckage of the ship that we landed on. This was the beginning of the series. This is where we came into it. This is what we did for the very first thing. And the reason that I'm over here is because I've played a lot since the last time we were together, and I kind of want to do a slow reveal because I've been really working on transforming the landscape, and I've also set up a couple of structures that we're going to check out together today over at our new base. So I'm going to fly over, and you're just going to see it be slowly revealed, if you will. And then we'll take a look at some of the progress and that we've done, and also what we're going to do to get us into space and check out those other planets and finish out that last quest. And you can see the base being revealed there slowly. Oh, what's that? There's a big tower over there. We'll check that out in a minute. But really, the main thing that I want you to focus on is how much grass there is. I've been slowly transforming the town. Like we talked about, one of the goals, one of the things that I wanted to do was to really transform at least the town structure into something that looks like it's actually a livable planet, right? So I've been slowly putting down dirt, leaving the road sections open. I've been putting grass across so that way it's going to slowly turn the whole town into that green. Now, I have only made it so far. It takes a long time to do this. I mean, a really long time to actually get all of this laid down. I don't have anything that automatically places blocks in a wide structure like this. Like, I don't have access to any kind of builder or any kind of thing like that that would transform this stuff out. I've looked, and I really don't, unless I'm totally missing it. But I really don't think that I do. So I've been doing all this by hand. This is just me digging out sand, putting down dirt, getting grass across, putting down dirt to fill in all of the holes. Because, I mean, like, there's craters all over the place. And so I've been filling those in, too. And also, I've been taking out all of the towers. I've been slowly going through them, getting all of the chests, disabling all of the spawners, etc., etc., so on and so forth. Anything that the dirt or grass is touching is probably a tower that I've conquered. I haven't gotten all the way over there, but we are going to. We are going to. That's definitely something that I'm interested in doing. But I've just been spending a lot of days doing that while I've been doing other things off the game. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's come over here. Let's talk about this. What do we got here? So this is a launch pad. It's used for building the rockets and then sending them off. This tower over here is what measures the height, and the launch pad blocks measure the width and depth, if you will, of these structures. Because this acts as like a platform that tells us when the rocket is complete or put together. Over here, I have a fueling station, which will be used to put fuel into the rocket, and I have an ender tank connected to the machines that I'm going to show you here in just a few minutes. And then I also have over here the rocket assembly machine. This thing stumped me for a really long time, and I felt pretty dumb when I figured out what the solution was. So I built this thing, right? And then I followed all the instructions. You know, the structure tower has to be on the same level as the launch pads to start. It could go up to 64 blocks, which it's at. This has to be one level above this. This has to be one level above this. I put it together, and for the longest time inside here where it says missing guidance computer, it said invalid structure or something very similar to that. Like, I couldn't figure out why it was not accepting my launch pad as an acceptable thing. And the reason was this machine right here was rotated the wrong direction. I had it facing inward because I kept on putting it down from on top of the launch pad. So all I had to do was rotate it outwards, and then it worked no problem. But it was really frustrating with how long it took me to figure that out. Anyways, let's head over here. I'm going to show you the other structures that we've put together. We've got everything in here is something that you've seen before, except for this one and this one. Actually, you know what? I think I showed you that one. Anyways, so this is the newest one that I've added. Over here is the electrolyzer. This is what takes water from beneath and turns it into oxygen and hydrogen. And then this machine over here takes oxygen and hydrogen and turns it into rocket fuel. If we go down below, I can show you where I'm taking it out. It was pretty frustrating to put together, honestly, because I kept forgetting all of the fuel lines need to be separate from each other, right? There's no, like you can't have multiple liquids running into each of these conduits. They each have to be their own one. So I laid it all down, then started running fluids through it, and then found out that it was all oxygen. So I had to change it around and then make a separate one for the hydrogen, make one separate for the rocket fuel, make one separate for oxygen. But I got it all laid out now. And of course, it shouldn't come as any surprise to you that how I did it was with conduit facades. So I've got the two inputs up there, which is where the oxygen and the hydrogen's going in. I've got the output right here, which has the rocket fuel going into the ender tank, and then it's just inputting itself over here. Same thing, using conduit facades. That way the floor looks nice and clean when we're in here, right? Doesn't look like I'm doing anything. There's no cables run anywhere. But yeah, so basically takes those two products, turns it into rocket fuel. I have it ported over to the fueling station, which will fuel our rocket once we get started. Now, since our goal was to try to get to space today in this episode, I went ahead and made it this far, right? But the next thing that I need to do, like my next main deal here, is I need to actually build a rocket. And I asked on Facebook, I asked for all of my friends to give me what they thought was the best design for a spaceship. Like, what do you think is the thing that a spaceship should look like? What's your favorite one from popular stuff? And overwhelmingly, people thought that the ships from Babylon 5 were the best. And I got several specific ones, but yeah, basically, ships from Babylon 5, number one. There were a couple of other entries. Some I thought were funny and interesting, but nobody else was like, yeah, that ship right there, that's the one that I want to see. So I have a pretty wide selection to go from, because Babylon 5 had a whole bunch of ships in it. But that's what we're going to be looking at. I thought to myself, well, I'm going to go ahead and just build the main one, right? Which is what I'm going to start doing. So I'm going to start designing that, and it's really going to be, here's the base, right? Here's what we're starting with. Since we've got these 8 engines, it's going to be like boop, 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 boop. Boom! First groundwork laid there, right? This is going to be the start of our ships. Now, how this machine works is it looks along that and along this, and then it scans all of the things that you put down into it, and it tells you, you know, how much thrust it has, how much weight it has, how much acceleration it has, how much fuel it has. So if I click scan, you can see that this launches up from there, and it's got just like a laser grid, and it comes down, it looks at all the materials that you put together, and then says, oh yeah, no, totally, that spaceship is going to go, or it's not going to go. Like, the last time I did it, it said missing guidance computer, and I'm scanning the exact same thing that I did before. But you can see it also takes a decent amount of time to actually get done there. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this, obviously. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on designing the ship, bring you back somewhere in the middle there. We'll take a look at the other pieces that are necessary, get this fueled up, and try to shoot off into space. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. I'll be back. Well, hey, look over there. Our armor is on an armor stand, where there used to be a spacesuit, which is what I've got here with me. I've started to look at survival and also upgrades for the spacesuit as well, since I'm trying to get together the materials to build the rocket the way that I want to. But one of the things that we're going to have to use is this precision assembler. Now, I don't know if I showed you this, but basically, you just put in materials that are used to make things, and then it makes them. And I'm making 2 of them so that we can get these advanced circuit plates, because this is the last ingredient we need for the upgrades that I'm trying to do. So then we need input, put these in, and that should cut them down into a total of 8 of those advanced circuits, which by golly I need, and I have them already being sent back to our base. That's okay though, we can just come over here and get them real fast. And there we go. There's 8. Check. That's all the ingredients I need for all the stuff that I'm trying to make. Okay, so let's step over here. We're going to get back into this precision assembler. Now, what I'm trying to make are some of the upgrades for the rocket suit. I've already made the super high pressure tanks. That's going into that rolling machine over there and running titanium through twice, basically, is what that. You put 4 titanium in, you're going to get, you know, several of these plates back. You put them through again, you get 4 more of those plates. Then you make one of these just doing the same machine again. I've already done that. Already filled them with oxygen even, so that way we can survive out in space. The other things that we need to make these 3. And we're going to make 4 of those. So the anti-fog visor is that right there. I'm not sure what type of planet we'll end up going to, but I just don't want to take the chance that it's going to be one that we can't survive in. You know what I mean? So basic lens. What was the other items? One of the small batteries and one of the control circuit boards. All right, all right. Put all that in. And there we go. Anti-fog visor. Check-a-rooney. So then we need to make these, which it's the motor, advanced circuits, and control boards. So that... Ooh, clicked it twice, and... No, not that. This. Boop, boop, boop. Oh no. Those all are, they don't stack. Well then, you get a sneak peek into this. Well, no, we're still here. We're still here. We're gonna make one of these, which is the leather boots, that thing, and that thing. That, and that. Yeah. There we go. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the atmosphere analyzer. This is the other thing, which basically should be everything else that I've got there. Doot. Hmm. Yeah, you know, I hadn't really thought about it, but how are you supposed to put in 5 ingredients, right? Because I just did, I mean, this says it's an input hatch, but it's not. It's an output hatch. Fluid hatch. I might have to, like, totally restructure the way this machine works to be able to do that. Because I also need to put in that tin plate. Oh, no, the tin plate's in. What else do I need to put in there? One of the batteries? Yeah. Yeah, I've only got 4 slots and I need 5. Alright, well I'm going to have to restructure this machine. I'll be back. Alright, entirely restructured in such a way that the output is now underneath. Well, it's over here. But it's being sucked out underneath, and then I've got 2 inputs here in the front. So, if I throw in this battery, I mean, that should be it. I don't know why it's not working. Because it should be. It's got power. It's got speed. I guess, yeah, there we go. It just wasn't on. Okay. So then, yeah, of course, that got sent back to the base. Okay. Well, anyways, that's fine. I'll just go grab it out. And then I'll show you all this fantastic stuff that we are trying to craft here. So I got I got those still in my inventory. So it was Atmos. Yeah, it was this thing. There we go. So got those, got the boots, got the goggles. Yeah, that should be everything. Okay, let's step over here and I'll show you how we craft a spacesuit, right? So here we go. We throw in one of the pieces. I'm just going to start with the chest plate so you can see what I've already done. These 2 are automatically tuned for the O2 tank. Like, that's the only thing you can put there is a tank that's going to contain oxygen. And only 2 oxygen tanks can be done. So even though there's 4 more slots here, you can't just fill those all with oxygen tanks because it won't use any but the first 2 with the oxygen meter. So we got that done. And then if we throw in the pants, that's where we're going to use these. And then we'll pull that back out, and yeah, that's good. You can have up to 4 of those things, and that's the only upgrade for the pants. Similarly, the boots only have this one upgrade. which basically prevents fall damage entirely. And then the helmet is the interesting one. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with it, but only some of it's going to matter to us right now. We need these goggles, this atmospheric sensor, and that's it, because there are other things, but since we have flight via the angel ring, we don't need to have the jetpack or any of the stuff related to the jetpack, which is why we're only installing some of the modules that are available. So then we will just throw it on, yeah? Oh, and look at all that stuff coming up. We can see all of the information down in the lower left-hand corner. You can see that the atmosphere type is air, and it's at 1, which is, I'm guessing like Earth normal, and then it's breathable. So we're not using any of the oxygen that we have inside of our tanks because we can breathe the air, so we don't need to. We've also got all of the suit information up at the top left there, so you can see what upgrades we have available: the anti-fog goggles, the 2 oxygen tanks, the 4 bionic legs, and the padded boots. So, like, for instance, we'll just test this out, right? So let's really give this a go. So from here, I don't think I'll die. But yeah, prevented all fall damage. And so they work correctly. That's good. And then the bionic leg upgrade. So you might think that this increases our speed, and it does, but not in the way you're thinking. Like right now, look, this is like normal walking speed, but if we start running, yeah, check that out. Look how fast we're going. That's crazy fast. I don't even know if that's really usable. I thought it would be interesting to try out, but yeah, you move so fast when you're running. It's crazy. But yeah, so there we've got our spacesuit together. So now it really is just concentrating on building the rocket, getting it all up, and then we can head off into space. Yeah, so you can see over here we've got our fuel machine pumping fuel up into our rocket. There's like that really thin line there that kind of delineates that it's linked up. What I had to do to get that linked is I had to make one of these linkers from libvolpes, which is I think the library or core mod or however you say it for advanced rocketry. And then what you do is you shift right click this. You can see down in the lower left corner that it says it is programmed, and then we click this and it says linked successfully. You can also click the ship, but I just like linking it to this because, like, what if the ship's gone? I think it's just better to link it to that block because then it's going to fill up whatever's on the pad. And if we shift right click the ship, yeah, you can see that it's done fueling. That's nice. This is also how we access our guidance computer, so we can click on that, and then we get access to change out the Planet ID chips if we want to. It's also how we disassemble the ship or select our destination. Now, if we click on this, you can see here we don't have anything here except for Earth and also Earth's moon. You can't go to other planets yet. We haven't got far enough to be able to do that. This is just sort of a first step kind of thing. If we click up, you can see it doesn't go anywhere. We're still on Earth. If we click planet list, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to select there at all. If we click planet list, you can see Earth is there. We can click on the moon and we can go to it as well. We can double click and show it. And then if we left click on it and then click select and get in our rocket, you can see our destination is now set as Luna. So that's it. That's everything that we have to do. So let's go ahead and take off. We do not appear to be moving. There's supposed to be all kind of flashy effects, and like the engines are supposed to blast and it's supposed to start taking us off, but I am not seeing it do anything. Oh yeah, and on the side gauges you can see our altitude's not changing, our velocity is not going up, and our fuel is going down like it's launching a ship, but it's just not going anywhere. Well, I guess let me take a look around and see if I can figure stuff out about this. So guys, listen. I've been looking around. I've tried to come up with a solution to this problem, why this rocket isn't moving, and I haven't found anybody that's having my exact problem. But I think it's something to do with the mod itself. I just think that maybe this rocket got bugged. Maybe the mod it got bugged. Maybe I'm using a bad version. I don't know. I have a couple of ideas for solutions, but that's like a next episode kind of thing. I got nothing else for this one, and it's getting long in time anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it for here, and we will try to sort this out next time. So guys, if you like this episode, if you like the series, please hit the like button down below. It really does make me feel appreciated, and I love it every time I see one of those come up. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave a comment on the video that caused you to subscribe, and I will try to greet you and say hello and welcome you to the channel. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this one, so I will see you in the next episode.